Namaskar. So today we will continue with the Mantra Chaitanya topic. So this has been published in many books. It's a popular topic. It's in Supasita Samgraha Part 10. This of course is on Tantra Volume 1, which is the book that we are focusing on. And Supreme Expression Volume 1, that one is out of print. And Baba's Grace, and Anmarga Ideology and Way of Life in a Nutshell, Part 11. So last time we went through what is a mantra. So last time we defined what a mantra is. So mantra is composed of sounds, and the sounds are part of the Shabda Brahma, or the Brahma of sound, which is in the expressed Brahma, or Karya Brahma. And Parashakti is the origin of everything, both on individual level and universal level. And so Parashakti exists in ourselves. And so when we express something, that expression starts at the Muladhara chakra, and then it goes up through the chakras and gradually takes a more expressed form until it finally reaches the Vishuddha chakra, where you have the differentiation of languages. So up until Vishuddha chakra, there's no difference between languages. It's kind of a universal language. So if you understand someone on the heart level, it doesn't matter which language you are speaking, you can still understand them. And but in the Vishuddha chakra, you have the differentiation between the different languages of the world, and also the mudras, and the mudras is the hand movements and facial expressions and all of that. But it all starts with Parashakti. Now, the Om sound, it represents all the sounds, and in the chakras we have 50 sounds. Namaskar, Swasti. And so in the Sanskrit alphabet we have 50 sounds, and those sounds are represented by the vrittis in the chakras. And the vrittis, every vritti has a sound, and that sound is called acoustic root. And so the mantras are formed of Sanskrit acoustic roots. And so the root has a meaning as well as the overall mantra. And so the mantra has to be meaningful. Now, here is the definition of what is a mantra. Just one second, I'm closing the window. There's a little extra sound. So we have Manana Tarya Yastu Sha Mantra Parikirtita, which means mantra is that collection of sounds which meditation on leads to liberation. And so the mantra is the key to your liberation, and that key has been given by the Guru and should be respected, and that's why we have to keep it secret. Because the mantra is, it is really a blessing of the Guru. Now, we stopped at this paragraph here, which is, what is Mantra Chaitanya, or the awakening of the mantra? So let's just read through those sentences, and then we stop at every sentence and discuss what is the meaning. So maybe, Padma, are you in a place where you can read, or?
Rather, my eyes are not letting me
You're
read on this
muted.
one.
No, you're not muted, but I cannot hear you.
I
Oh,
can
one
read
second.
if you need.
That's probably my problem.
I am able to read.
Okay, all right, you go ahead.
So unless it starts.
And what is Mantra Chaitanya? Start on there.
And what is Mantra Chaitanya, or the awakening of mantra? Mantra Chaitanya is the condition where, with the help of a particular Shabda, a person established parallelism between his or her external physical vibration and his or her internal ectoplasmic vibration, and then raises this to the spiritual level. And the culmination of this process in the achievement of the final spiritual goal is called Mantra Siddhi. The same Shabda, without being made live or awakened in the above process, is meaningless. It acquires force and meaning when it becomes live in the aforesaid manner. The parallelism between the internal ectoplasmic vibration and the external cosmic vibration can only be established when one has complete control over one's own ectoplasmic vibration. According to one samskaras, a person will be vibrated immediately by one shabda, but remain immune to the vibrations of another. Though some people get angry when you say Sitraram to them, but are pleased when you greet them with Radhe Shyam. Our attitude towards different shabdas becomes defined. It will be noted that many writers repeat the use of particular words. Many, for instance, use the word "but" in every other sentence. All this happens because of their attachments to particular rhythmic vibrations. Similarly, when the vibrational expression is ectoplasmic, that is, when the individual gets equilibrated with the cosmic vibration, cosmic mantra chaitanya takes place.
We can stop here. Thank you so much. So we can start with this. Go back to the sentence here. So Mantra Chaitanya is the condition where, with the help of a particular shabda, so shabda here means a sound, with the help of a particular shabda, a person establishes parallelism between his or her external physical vibration and his or her internal ectoplasmic vibration, and then raises this to the spiritual level. So parallelism between external physical vibration and internal ectoplasmic vibration. So
What does it mean here when they say his or her external physical vibration? What does that mean?
well, it means physical vibration means the body.
Body.
And so it's establishing parallelism between the body and the mind.
Thank you.
And then you raise that to the spiritual level. So in other words, I think what Baba means here is that, let's say you're meditating. So what you do is that you, first you sing kirtan, of course, and all of that. And we have to take the sattvic diet, and we have to do the asanas and so many things. Why? To make our body subtle. And so then when we sit for meditation, sometimes the body is supporting the spiritual practice very nicely. Like, for example, yesterday I was fasting, and today afternoon I went for a long walk for like 2 hours. And then I came back and took shower and I did meditation. And so my body and mind was very tuned, like I could concentrate very, very quickly. And so when the body is in a good condition and the mind also in a good flow, then meditation becomes easy. But the mantra also establishes that connection. So like, let's say you sit for meditation for some time and you're repeating your mantra. The mantra is not only repeating in your mind, it's vibrating all of the body as well. And so you're vibrating your body and you're gradually establishing that parallelism or connection between the body and the mind. And then as you go deeper and deeper in the meditation, you start to raise that vibration to the spiritual level. It means you go into your deeper mind and you actually go beyond your body. And so now the culmination of this is the mantra siddhi. And so siddhi means like you have achieved a certain thing. And what I understand with mantra siddhi is that it's when the mantra is just repeating effortlessly 24/7. You know, the mantra is just always, you're always in spiritual ideation. Let's read it. I hope that he gives a little bit more suggestion later on in the discourse what he means here. But that's what I believe is the correct interpretation of this sentence. Now this one here, according to one samskara, a person will be vibrated by one shabda. So this is why when you learn your individual meditation, it has to be with an acharya, and the acharya is basically acting on behalf of the guru, and so giving you a mantra which would be suitable to your individual samskaras. And that's why the individual meditation is one-on-one always, and the mantra is secret because it's just for you. Okay, the rest of this here is just amplifying the statement that we are all different and we all need a particular rhythm which is suitable to us. It's just amplifying that or proving that statement. So Padma, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Are you able to read or should I read?
That I'm on my phone and it's too small for me to
Okay,
read.
yeah, okay, sure, I'll read, yeah. So I'm gonna read that. I'll just take turns with Swasti. I'll read the next few. So it would be noted that many writers repeat the use of particular words. I think she read this one already. Similarly, when the vibrational expression is ectoplasmic, that is when the individual gets equilibrated with the cosmic vibration, mantra chaitanya takes place. As already mentioned, not only human existence, but every existence in the universe is vibrational. But the vibrations of each individual, of each object, differ from those of other objects. For instance, there is a difference between the vibrational expression of gold and I was just double checking that. For example, there is a just as the vibration of a human differs from those of iron or gold, the vibration between one human and another also differ. A person's life is nothing but a mesh of multilateral rhythms, and the goal of human life is a singular entity having no rhythm. So that's important. It means we are trying to go beyond all vibrations to Nirguna Brahma. The style of a person's speech represents a particular rhythm of his or her own. The way the person eats represents the rhythm of her own eating. Every person is thus special on account of these specialities. The rhythms of two individuals cannot be identical. An individual rhythm is the particular property of a particular person. It has been said in Ananda Sutram, Vaichitrang prakrita dharma shamanang na bhavishati. Diversity, not identity, is the law of nature. That was the fallacy of communism. They thought that they could make everything equal. And so that's why Baba put this one in the social theory side of Ananda Sutram. Vaichitrang prakrita dharma shamanang na bhavishati. Our economic theory is based on this one. It's not that everyone has to be equal. There should be some differences in people's income, but it should not be as huge as now. But there has to be a little bit difference to encourage people to be more efficient and more capable, so they can be given bonus for their efficiency. If someone wants to obstruct or strike that rhythm through disciplinary measures or expressions of anger, the person will not tolerate it. Personal liberty, individual liberty, really means the unobstructed expression of individual rhythmic vibrations. When, with the help of one's parashakti, para in the sense of starting point of shabda, not in the context of para and apara, a person coincides his or her individual rhythmic vibrations with the rhythmic vibrations in the realm of this quinquelemental universe. From that moment onwards, his or her rhythms becomes vibrated with mantra Chaitanya. There is the awakening of, or putting a life into a mantra. Therefore, Sadasiva said, Chaitanya Rohita mantra prokta varnastu kevalang phalang naiva prayachanti laksa koti japairapi. Okay, so quinquelemental universe, it means panchabauddhic. Quinquelemental is of 5 elements. Of 5 elements means solid, liquid, fire, air, and ether. And so the 5 chakras, they correspond to those 5 elements, the first 5 chakras. In order to make a mantra alive, the individual rhythms have to be made parallel to cosmic rhythms. Then the starting point of expression of the unit will have to be made to coincide with the starting point of expression in the cosmic field. If this has not been done, says the sloka, even hundreds of thousands, even millions of repetition of mantra will not lead to mantra siddhi. Okay, here, this one is interesting. The starting point of expression of the unit will have to be made to coincide with the starting point of expression in the cosmic field. So this one is a little bit encryptic. So what is the starting point of expression in the cosmic field? It is the Shambhulyunga. And so if you remember, what we sometimes do, now I can spotlight. So sometimes what we do is that, we depict the universe as starting with a triangle, So you have a triangle, which is the 3 forces, Sattva, Raja, Tama. And the forces, they are interchanging, let's say this one is Sattva, and then it interchanges, so this one becomes Sattva, and, they interchange between themselves. And then eventually, there's imbalance in the forces, and it bursts out from one of the vertices of the triangle. So that's in the creation theory. And now when it bursts out, and that is the subtlest point of creation. It is the beginning point, and that's called Shambhulyungat. And so the crudest point is called Svayambhulyungat. And so the crudest point is the Kula Kundalini force. And so what I believe Baba is referring to here with this sentence is that the starting point of expression of the unit, that will be the Svayambhulyungat. That is where the Kundalini. So the Kundalini has to be made to coincide with the starting point of expression in the cosmic field. That is the Shambhulyungat, which is here at the crown. So in other words, you have to raise your Kundalini up all the way up to here. And so when you do that, then you will have mantra siddhi, you will have achieved the final goal of using a mantra, which is the mantra siddhi. And now then Baba goes into more details of how do you do this actually, like what are the requirements, and so that's interesting. So Swasti, you can read this paragraph here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are several essential. The first is that the mantra should suit the samskara of the individual concerned, and the second is that the individual should feel a fraternal emotion for and attachment to the external world. This sentimental contact with the external world is a must. If someone is under the impression that I am doing sadhana for the sake of personal liberation and have nothing to do with the world, and thus denies his or her contact with external physicality, although the person's physical body is very much in this world, the person is cheating himself and indulging in selfishness. Service to humanity with a view to serve Paramapurusha and with the same attachments which one feels towards oneself, and Paramapurusha is an essential prerequisite for progress in sadhana. This will establish the equilibrium and parallelism of the individual rhythms with the rhythms of the external physicalities.
Okay, let's stop here. So, okay, this one is very important. So this is the reason that we teach Jama Niyama before we teach meditation. So like normally if you want to get initiation, you want to learn your first lesson on Nama Mantra, then the Acharya will either arrange a lecture or ask you to read Guide to Human Conduct, or just explain it briefly before you learn your meditation. And so the Jama Niyama, it ensures that we have a good relationship with the external world. And so the controlling factor of the jamas, for example, is the feeling of benevolence. So if you have a benevolent attitude towards the world, then that means that you will easily accomplish the jama portion. Let's say ahimsa, not to harm others. If you have a benevolent feeling towards others, you obviously don't want to harm them. Same thing, if you have a feeling of benevolence, you don't want to steal. You also don't want to lie. You also don't want to acquire too much material things, because by acquiring too much material things, you're depriving others. And so the feeling of benevolence is the key to be successful in jama. In other words, you need to have love for the world. You need to have, like what Baba says here, a fraternal emotion for and attachment to the external world. The sentimental contact with the external world is a must. So you need to have a benevolent feeling for the world, and that benevolent feeling, it helps you to establish that. Probably also here, this is probably also one of the explanation of this one that we were having problem with understanding, where Baba says you have to establish a parallelism between your external physical vibration and your internal ectoplasmic vibration. So it's probably not just our body, but it's also other physical vibrations. And you do that through the Jama Niyama. By having that fraternal affection for others and for everything around you, you establish that parallelism, and that parallelism on physical and mental level becomes the base for establishing a parallelism on mental and spiritual level. So that's why the Jama Niyama is fundamental. Without Jama Niyama, you cannot be successful in sadhana, in your meditation. So that's why everyone should buy Guide to Human Conduct, read it many, many, many times. I've already read it maybe 10 times, and there's always something new that I find there. It's a very small book, but it's a very good book. Are there any questions about that so far? Nope, everything clear? How far are we? Still have a lot of things to go. It's a long discourse. Okay, let's read a little bit more. Okay, Swasti, you can read the next paragraph. The microcosm is in a dormant stage.
The microcosm is in a dormant state, and the Vijabhava, the feeling of the unit state, is in a condition of slumber. The point where the Jivabhava, that is the sense of the unit identity, is locked is called Kula. Hence those who achieve perfection through sadhana are called Kaola. Kaola with this meaning is also used as a surname. Those who can move the collective ectoplasm through the medium of their ectoplasmic rhythm can awaken new power in Shabda through their own ectoplasmic strength. The awakening of this power is in Shabda is called Purashcharana in Sanskrit, and those who can perform such a tough task are called Mahakaola. They alone are worthy of the status of Guru and no one else. When a Mahakaola awakens vibrations in the universal ectoplasmic body through the medium of particular Shabdas, those Shabdas are also altered and acquire the status of Siddha mantras. A spiritual aspirant can only achieve perfection through the medium of those Siddha mantras. Other mantras are not capable of leading to success, and spiritual aspirants cannot awaken them. A person's individual efforts will never be sufficient for that task.
Okay, thank you. This paragraph is also very important. I had mentioned this in the previous discussion on this topic, that you have Kaula and Mahakaula. And so the Kaula is one who can raise his own Kundalini, and Mahakaula is the one who can raise his own Kundalini as well as other people's Kundalini. And so this type of gurus are extremely rare. We only know of 3 in the history of this earth, which is Shiva, Krishna, and Shrii Shrii Anandamurti. And so awakening the power of the mantra is called Purashcharana. And so this is only done by Mahakaula. And so we are very fortunate when we receive the initiation and we receive our Ista mantra or our Siddha mantra. Even anyone practicing Bhavana and Kevalam is fortunate that is also a Siddha mantra. And so we need to respect the individual mantras and utilize the Bhavanam Kevalam properly. Utilize those vibrations. So I think as we are not so many today, I think I would prefer to just keep it to 1 hour today. That means half an hour meditation, half an hour discussion, and then we can continue next week. Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay, all right, yeah.
for me.
Yes, Bhagavad.
So yeah, please, you can continue reading the discourse. Let me just go through to summarize what is ahead of us.
Rather quickly, I know it's a backward question, but what does Parashakti actually mean?
Parashakti. Parashakti means like fundamental energy. And so like we have the Parashakti in our on our individual level is the first expression of our thought. So like when it starts at the Kula Kundalini, that would be the Parashakti. So it is like the fundamental energy of everything, you can say. I think that I can try to research it more, but I think that's the way I understand. We can go back to it.
Does it individual level?
On the individual
Because in the
level,
beginning,
you know, there's one topic which is how the expression happens. And so let me just research that a little bit because it's a good question. And I have something on that I wrote when I was doing my thesis in Taiwan. And so I have some text on it. And I will I'll research a little bit or you know, revise or reread about that and present it in a more systematic way next time.
thank you.
And anything else, Swasti or Padma?
No, I mean it's actually not easy topic for me. And I actually was going to ask, so the word Chaitanya, it means like what? When you repeat or
Mantra
yeah,
Chaitanya means to awaken the mantra.
I see. And to awaken the mantra, it means when you feel, I can say, I don't, maybe I don't know if it's a good question or no. When
It's a very good
when
question.
everything is right, yeah, I understand. When it's become parallelism with like your internal soul with some.
Means you have to
with-
you have to awaken the mantra. So the most important aspects of awakening the mantra is, of course, doing the meditation correctly, and the mantra needs to have the power of a spiritual guru, and then you have to have a benevolent attitude towards other beings, and you need to take the ideation of the mantra. You need to understand the meaning, and so when you're meditating, you're not just repeating your mantra like a parrot. You're actually taking the ideation of the mantra, and so that's why when you learn your first lesson, the mind is given very clear instructions what to think and you know how to take the ideation and how to visualize everything and so all of that, you know, all of that is to help us to have a clear concept of what is the ideation or what is the inner meaning of the mantra or the bhava of the mantra. So
I see. Yeah, now it's clear.
okay, so I think the rest of the discourse is more discussing about like why do we need to meditate? And he goes back
Dada,
into the culminating point. Here,
because
okay,
I
here is Chaitanya. The Chaitanya or cognitive principle is called Bhava, and the Shakti or operative principle is called Bhavani Shakti. So Chaitanya is the cognitive principle. So mantra Chaitanya means you are awakening the spiritual power of the mantra.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm.
Okay, so I think
Yeah.
we can conclude for the day, and then next week we will continue, and I will be back to Los Altos Hills. And yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
maybe
Dada.
do a little bit kirtan in the end
Yeah.
again.
have a question. Are these books available?
The books? Yeah, sure. You mean Tantra Part 1 and 2?
Yes, because I don't have these books.
Yeah,
And
they are available print on demand. And if you're in India, if there is any Jagrati or any Andamarga ashram close to where you are, they might have a physical copy. They will have it in Hindi and in English and in Bangla.
now, do you have these books? Dada?
I only have it available print on demand right now. So it can reach you in 2 weeks. And in India, they will have it available in the ashrams. But I can. You can also buy it, and then I'll send you a PDF copy.
Are the physical texts available at this time or not, or are just PDF?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Physical text is available, print on demand here in the US. It takes about 2 weeks to get delivery. And in India, you can get it in some of our Jagratis or our Andamarga centers.
All right, thank you. Dada.
Baba Nam Ki Valam, 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 Baba Nam Ki Valam. Okay,
Thank you,
namaskar.
Dada.
Look forward to see you next week.
Thank you. Dada.
Thank you, namaskar.
See you.